Hey everybody, Motumbo here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are playing some more Historic here on Magic Arena. And we have a interesting, I would say, combo-ish type deck. And again, featuring one of the interesting new cards from Crimson Vow. So let's just head right into the deck. And we are calling it Demonic Mysteries. So let's hit on that card first before we actually get into our win condition. And by looking at the deck here, you could probably figure it out. But Demonic Bargain, 3 mana sorcery. It says exile the top 13 cards of your library, then search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, and then shuffle. So we are going to try to mill ourselves out, and we're going to try to win that way. And yeah, typically, you're trying to mill your opponents out when you're playing mill decks, but we are actually just trying to run ourselves out of cards, and then we are going to win with our pal Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. He has a very cool passive ability, one of the War of the Spark planeswalkers that do have a very interesting and yet powerful passive ability. It says if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. So if we can mill ourselves out and then potentially draw a card, we could just win the game on the spot. He does have a +1 of target player milling 2 cards, and then we get to draw a card. So we're probably going to mill ourselves with this. And then if we happen to ultimate it, we do get to -8 to draw 7 cards. And then if your library has no cards in it, you win the game. So it's kind of cool if you get it up to 8, because he does go away if you ultimate him, and he only has exactly 8 counters on it. So it does give you that stipulation of saying draw 7 and you win the game if you happen to have no cards in your library. So pretty interesting way to win. Now, do want to let you guys know in advance real quick, though, I did have to come back and I did have to re-record the intro, because after game 1, I was a little unsure of a card and just how it felt in the deck. So we did have 2 Liliana Dreadhorde Generals in the deck. I really wanted them in here just kind of for some creature removal, because you do have that -4 for each player to sacrifice 2 creatures. However, I just didn't really feel like it was actually too flavorful in the deck, so we did replace it, and I'll get to that in a second. But while we're hitting on Planeswalkers, I'll go over the other Planeswalker in the deck. We do have Professor Onyx, a 6 mana Planeswalker. This is a different Liliana. But we're typically going to use the +1 ability, because it is a little bit synergistic with our deck. So the +1 ability says you lose a life, but you get to look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. So we're essentially using this as kind of like a mill plan. But at the same time, we're actually getting a card out of our deck. So we are essentially looking at 3, putting 1 in our hand, 2 in the graveyard. We're just thinning our deck out, so to speak, and hopefully just getting towards that magical number of 0 cards in our library with Professor Onyx. So while she does have a good secondary ability of -3ing to make each opponent sacrifice a creature, really we're playing the Professor Onyx just because of the synergy with the mill type effect as her +1. So not even going to hit on the ultimate, because it's not going to matter. So with that being said, I did hit on that we did have 2 Lilianas in the deck, but we replaced them with Tainted Pact. So this is kind of a card I want to try. This is a card that a lot of people played back when Thoughtseize Oracle was legal. Again, you could play a lot of 1-ofs and then just go mill through your deck. However, this is going to be one of those cards where you kind of have to just, you could play it one of 2 ways. You can actually use this to try to find a card in your deck, or you could just play it, balls to the wall and just mill, always, say no to putting the card in your hand and just go until you hit a duplicate. And you could potentially mill a bunch of cards in a row, and you can win that way, or not necessarily win that way, but you can mill a lot of cards with that. So we are only playing 2 because we only had 2. So again, I want to give this a shot because we never actually played Tainted Pact Thoughtseize Oracle back in the day when it was legal. And I do think this actually fits pretty well in this deck. So, and that's why you kind of see some of the weird numbers in that, because I don't want to play all 4-ofs. I do kind of want to limit that to some 2s and some 3s and a 1, just because of the fact that, maybe if we hit a 1 or a 2 or a 3 instead of a 4, we do get to extend the chaining of those cards being exiled. So that's the reason for that. So let's just go through the rest of the cards. We have 4 Bloodchief's Thirst for early creature removal or late creature / planeswalker removal to be able to remove whatever we want. We do have 4 copies of Thoughtseize in order, again, to stop what they're doing early on, or to get those pesky counter spells out of their hands, or cards that could potentially deal with our Jace. Because again, we have to be very careful when playing Jace. We don't want to necessarily just slam this, because there is a world where we live in where we go to draw that last card in our library, and then they kill this in response, and then we draw, and then we just lose because we no longer have a Jace. So we no longer have that passive ability. So we have to be careful with that. I do have 1 copy of Grafdigger's Cage. Again, this is to really deal with all the recursion spells that we've been seeing lately, Collected Companies, Muxuses, just a lot of different decks that we've been running into. I want to at least have 1 copy in here just in case. We want to prevent cards coming into play from graveyards and libraries. Again, 4 copies of Demonic Bargain. We have 4 copies of Ashiok. Ashiok's really cool. This is going to prevent our opponents from searching, so they can't like tutor anything up. But also, this is going to let us -2 exile 4 cards from our graveyard. Or I'm sorry, we're going to be able to mill 4 cards into our graveyard and then exile our opponent's graveyard. So really cool. And it's both of these cards have really great synergy with one of our removal spells, and that's going to be Yeheni's Expertise. This is a card that you've seen me play a lot of in some different decks. But Yeheni's Expertise for 4 mana, all creatures get -3/-3, but then we get to cast a spell with mana value 3 or less. So casting this into either one of these is actually going to give us great mana value, and it should wipe the board. This is going to kill most low to the ground decks, elves, goblins, murlocs. I don't know why I said murlocs, merfolk, but yeah, it's going to give us good value, especially when we hit on a 3 or a 2. We do have 3 copies of Ritual Soot. Again, same reason. We want to deal with these low to the ground decks that are just trying to go wide and get us. 3 copies of Languish, same reason. And then Extinction Event for pesky, large, indestructible creatures. Or maybe we're just playing, our opponent's playing a lot of 2 drops or 4 drops or 3 drops, and we just happen to get them all at once. So that is the Demonic Mysteries deck. Again, land does look a little weird. We are playing 2 snow-covered lands. Again, one-ofs. These, again, are in here because of the synergies with Tainted Pact. No other reason besides that. We do have really just 4 of each of the other lands, and then 2 copies of Fetid Pool, because we could potentially cycle these to also help thin our deck. So 24 lands in total in this 60-card deck. Did not want to put in a 61st card because, again, we are trying to mill ourselves. So we want to play the minimum number of cards that we can. So again, if you enjoy the deck, enjoy the channel, enjoy the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links down below. Anything you can do to help with that YouTube algorithm does help. And again, big disclaimer, we did come back. We re-recorded this. So you are going to see a lot of short games. There were a lot of people who conceded, but again, creature decks get trolled by mass removal decks. You know, we do have a lot of creature removal, a lot of board control, and creature decks will concede a lot of the time. So you are going to see that, but you do get to see some cool games nonetheless. So with that being said, let's just hop right into it, and we will see you all at the wrap up. All right, well, I wonder if we will actually be able to mill ourselves in time. Who knows? Who knows? But we're going to give it a shot. And I think this is a keepable hand. It's not very explosive, but it does have removal, it does have mill, it does have a Jace. So. Uh-oh, a Boreal Grazer with no additional land. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't actually think we need a Languish right now because they chose not to put a land into play. There we go. Finally did it. Finally did it. So I think we are going to shock, and we are going to go ahead and cycle this Fetid Pools. It'll give us the ability to get one less card in our hand or in our deck. All right, it is a little unfortunate. So we could play Ash Shock, but then Ash Shock just gets destroyed. Try to set up for not taking damage. Okay, gain 4, learn. They probably go get a land. Yep. Get a land spell. So I think what we do is, I think we're just going to get Jace down. And we're just going to mill ourselves. Oh, I do like this. Yahenni's expertise into an Ashiok seems good. I don't think they're going to do anything for 1 mana. Okay, well. Okay, we're... not going to actually... Alright, well all of our Ashioks are out of our deck. Now we just have to... How many cards do we draw? 7 cards? I don't think I've ever actually ultimated Jace. Alright. Okay. So... actually, let's cancel this. Do this first. Alright. So we are going to Yahenni's expertise. We are going to Demonic Bargain. And I think we get a... you would just get another Demonic Bargain, right? Alright, well... oh, I guess it still did have counters on it. Oh, that's unfortunate, my friend. Got him. So I think we actually win next turn. Sure. We are going to go ahead and... go ahead and mill. Go ahead and get all of the cards out of our deck. And yeah. Sweet. Oh, mill. All right. That was fun. I don't think I've ever actually attempted to do this before, but all right. Keep it going. All right. Well, game 2. We got to hydrate. And then I got to give you an update because we did something. All right. So full disclosure, we changed 1 card in our deck. And I'm okay with that, right? We got rid of the 2 Lilianas. I don't actually feel like the Lilianas... I felt like they were a little out of place. So we're going to try it with 2 Demonic Packs. We just drew 1. So I am going to have to go back and re-record the intro. So... well, let's see what they're playing. All right, so... guess we're just going to get rid of this thing, right? And of course we cannot draw... I can't be greedy, right? I have to get rid of that now. I have to get rid of that. Alright, perfect. Did they actually draw a counterspell? Wow. Lung Swarm, why have you conceded? All we did was miss a land drop and cast Ashiok. Oh, Lord. Alright. Well, that means an extra game for everybody else. So, alright, let's go. Alright. Let's play a real game. Real games are needed. So far, we've seen a green deck that really didn't do much of anything. So we have the triple blue that we need for Jace. So you get to Yahenni's expertise into a bargain if we need to, which I'm really happy with. So, alright, we're going to keep stay on red. Maybe black. Bogari. Energy. I don't like that. I don't like that. Glint Sleeve Siphoner. That card is really good. Always been a pretty big fan of Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Especially turn 1, Attune with Ether, getting to... You immediately get to draw a card on its first upkeep. That's real. Oh, they're playing Sultai Energy. Okay. Oh, so we have to be... pretty careful here. So I think... those are both even. Alright, well, we have a Jace. I think we're just going to get a Ritual of Soot. Alright, what did we exile? 2 Languishes, a Thoughtseize. Oh, nice, nice. You have to be wary about counters. That's a lot of damage. I'm just going to hover over like I'm reading. Obviously, it doesn't matter. Might be dead turn. Negate gets us pretty good. They do not have negate. Okay. $35 cards left. Hydroid Krasis for 3. I am going to take a look. All right. We don't care about fatal pushes. All right, so triple fatal push, not great against the deck that does not have creatures in it. All right, still have good information. Oh, opponent, what are you doing? We're gonna get a lot of concessions because we're gonna be playing against a lot of creature decks. Oh man, if so, it feels good. It feels good. All right, well, on to the next game. Yeah, so. While I do know we have yet to actually get to cast our Tainted Pact, I do actually feel a little bit better with Tainted Pact in our deck. So we don't have any 2-drops other than Tainted Pact, so I would like to potentially do something. All right, well. Are we going to be killing a bunch of elves? It does appear that way. So, play this tapped. Let's get rid of a potential lord or a collected company. Don't really care about Realm Walker. I'd rather take a lot less damage. Wow. Okay. So here's the play. Here's the play. We're going to play Ashiok. We're going to mill them. And we're going to trick them into attacking Ashiok. Because Ashiok is a threat for some reason. Right? So they're going to go 2 of those at Ashiok. Again, Ashiok is... It is a bait spell. Oh. They did not fall for it. Did not fall for it. All right. Oh. We could just cast Yehenni's expertise, but we're not going to. Oh, again, another creature deck has lost or has conceded to the mass removal. And we might be doing a lot of that this game. And this might just be troll the creature decks. So keep it going. Yeah, if we just keep playing creature decks and they just keep scooping after a board wipe, hey, that shows you that you might not want to be playing creature decks, or at least make sure they're not as susceptible to all those board wipes. Opponent gets to go first. Not fair. Oh, and they're on Luris, so their deck might be a little less susceptible to these. I don't hate this hand, but they're going to be a lot faster, so I think we have to. Okay. So we're going to put a Jace back. And I think we're going to lead on turn 1 Swamp. Thoughtseize. Definitely gets to get rid of a core Spirit Dancer. Seems really good. And they might buy Luris here. Yeah. They might have to buy Luris here. So they play Luris. Just trying to think of what happens. Yeah, I want to get rid of this core Spirit Dancer. That thing just gets out of hand immediately. And then we can deal with the rest. Oh, we're gonna play like 20 games in this video because they're all gonna be sub 2-minute games because yeah, creature decks. All right, next game. Oh, I don't understand it. And if you know your deck is just going to die to a lot of removal, why play that deck? You go first. Well, since we're going first, I'm going to keep this. We're going to be a land ahead. And Demonic Bargain for our 4th land, which lets us cast this into this potentially. David Roy, let's go. David Roy. Say hello. Let me know when it's our turn. Oh man, really? They make that bigger? I feel like they did. I feel like that's bigger than normal. Give him the old sleepy sleep. All right, well, we got one of these here ropers. Oh, finally. Give him the wave. All right. Opponent is on. Is it? You've done it. You've done it, my friend. Bright Dragon? No. This actually seems like a really good card against them. They do have access to, like, Prismari command, but I think Graph Digger's Cage is pretty good. Gonna shut down some Phoenixes. So I think Demonic Bargain if we don't draw a land. Ooh. Well. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go get probably another Marsh. Let's see, how many Jaces did we have? One Jace left. I have to go get. Oh, we have a Jace in our hand. We're gonna get a Watery Grave actually, just in case of. I'm gonna shock here. They might have a Spell Pierce, but we got the Watery Grave. Okay, perfect. So we could hit a Phoenix. Could also hit this Stormwing entity. Yeah, I like getting Stormwing. We want to just get rid of all of their threats, right? Right. Gimme Lich. So we will minus. Yep. Put this friend into play, and I think like we don't actually care about their graveyard, right? But I still think we hit it. Right? So like next turn they cast Phoenix to go after Ashiok, and maybe they burn. Yeah, that's fine. We can't kill the Phoenix, but oh, now we can. This is even. Let's actually just get the last use of this. We got 30 cards left. Oh, and they hit another one. You have to be careful here. Alright, so they can kill Jace. Fine. They discard the two. Can't cast any more Faithless Lootings from the graveyard. Bright Dragon.
What's that supposed to hurt?
Pretty good. Not gonna lie. Alright, this is gonna take some finagling. We need to draw another extinction event. Pretty good. I'd rather take 3 than more than 3. Because like right now we're only set to take to the top. I don't like seeing to the top. How about a Languish? I think Languish is a good draw.
You really want to fight me? That's cute. Sorry, you don't make the grade.
That's unfortunate. I think they're gonna get the best of us, right? Or 7 dead. Ah, got us. I think we just drew things in the wrong order that game. But all right, good game. Let's go on to the next one. I mean, we are already on game 7. A lot of these are quick concessions. But I really want to highlight the potential that this deck has, right? Lord Bib. Let's go. Let's go first. All right, we do get to go first. All right. Aha, sucker. We're going to keep. Not a great hand. We're probably going to start off by demonic bargaining for a land. Or maybe a Jace. I guess it depends on how many Jaces get. This represents half of our deck right here. Seems really good for what we're trying to do. I have to imagine that they are on... Yeah, I have to imagine that they're on some kind of Niv Mizzet deck. There's just been so many Niv Mizzet decks going on. Yeah, this feels like a Mizzet deck. Like, cards like this are so overpowered that they just enable so many things. The discard. Take a look. I don't actually care about Clothis. I think we do take the binding here. And I think I'm gonna go get a Jace. We just have to be really careful with it. Just have to be very careful. Again, Clothis doesn't do a lot against our deck.
Beg for your life. It makes your nightmare.
Okay, those are actually just cards we did not want to see. So, I mean, opponent's pretty committed right now to Prismari commanding for something. They have to Prismari command, maybe deal 2 damage to this, and then draw 2, discard 2. Just gonna get the treasure. Okay. One Thoughtseize. So we still have live draws to Thoughtseize. Looks like there's still 2 in the deck. I would have discarded that Fatal Push and not 2 lands. So yeah, we'll have to be careful. I'm gonna start milling them. Remember, I do want to get a Thoughtseize up in the air before we go for the win. We have 16 cards left. We have a 1 in 8 chance to draw a Thoughtseize. All right, more draws, more treasure. We do have disruption, or not disruption, but removal for when they start dropping their 5/5s. I mean, I would love to draw a two Dovin's Vetoes there was huge. That was huge. Yeah, the fact that they had 5 mana there, didn't cast anything, tells us maybe they have a Dovin's Veto. Oh, opponent. Why? Why do people quit? Why? Oh my gosh. Did we just find the be all end all deck to piss people off and make people not want to play? All right. Next game. So yeah, so we won the first game by actually being able to pull off what we were trying to do. And then after that, we changed 2 cards in the deck. And we've just seen a lot of concessions, and then we lost 1. So yeah, people just seem not to like this deck in general here. They play an island first and then like make them think that we are on mono blue aggro. But we're not. That's not how we live. We'll just keep it up here. What are we doing? What are they doing? Gain 4 life and learn. You get the Land Searcher? Yep. Here. right, let's go. Get us a Jace. Jacey boy. Combo assembled. Oh, I just realized they have 80-something cards in their deck. All right. Enchantress. Interesting. I'm gonna go get a Thoughtseize. I think we just milled all the Thoughtseize. All of the Thoughtseizes have been milled. Okay. All right, plan B. Plan B. We have lands. Let's grab a Professor Onyx. Yeah, I think we did two Thoughtseizes on each. Kind of unlucky. Right, they did already play a land, so that is important. All right, we do draw land number 6 here.
I am that which nightmares themselves fear. You collect snack.
So I'm kind of anticipating them actually like removing this somehow, but then we get to get down Professor Onyx and then kind of do the same thing. And then with Professor Onyx, we actually get to take a peek at what card we want. This could be like an ECD though. Elspeth Conquers Death. Don't want to see that. I'd much prefer Ashiok just live, right? And then play something like anytime you cast an enchantment, you get a 4/4. Oh, okay. Sure. Sure thing. We actually get to do this twice. So I'm gonna do this first. I think we grab a land. 13.
There has to be an answer.
My dreams. I leave you with
Well, I do wish I could have drawn that Tainted Pact. I think they just keep playing land and going after Professor Onyx. But we have to be really careful, right? ECD, no!
So much for a new start.
Alright, Professor Onyx. 8. Minus. Actually a randomly good-ish draw, right? It gives us something to do.
You really want to fight me?
Bedded pool.
I have impeccable.
So if this Professor Onyx lives, we win. Assuming they can't just murk our Jace, right? No, don't quit. Don't quit. Oh. Oh, they always quit. We were so close. All right, well, we've brought... That was actually game number 8, right? And we've had a lot of quick games. And, I mean, we're going to play one more time. One more time. I'm going to count this as a real win because we did get to the bottom of our... So, All right, one last game. All right, we're gonna pull it off. I know we are. No, we are. Got to do it essentially twice, right? You go first. Okay. I'm gonna keep this. This seems all right. We're just gonna hold on to. We're gonna hold on to Tainted Pact. I mean, how good is it if we hit? Where is that one of? Where's this guy? What did we show them? We showed them all the Ashioks, like every single one of them. Okay. You're doing it. Sure. You are definitely getting in for 6. You are definitely getting in for 6. Enjoy. Can this deck beat goblins? We finally get a chance to play this Grafdigger's Cage and it actually matter? Sure, sure. You go get it. What are you going to go get? Is it Muxus? I hope it's Muxus. Alright, alright. I'm going to take a draw here. Let me see. I'll let you, of course, let you draw that. 1, 2, 3. Are we dead? We're at 6. Put that card in my hand. Decline. 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 Yeah, I'll take action. That seems like a good hit. So, Muxus or bust. You could have just cast Muxus there. I don't know what that was about. You have to be very careful here. You're at 4. All right, let's see what we can get here. I mean, I guess we just go for the win. Cross our fingers. All right. Nice. Good game. We beat goblins. Holy moly. And it feels so good to beat goblins. Oh my god. Oh man. We trolled. We got them. Oh man. That was awesome. Awesome. It was close though, down to 4 life. So let's talk about this deck and what we think about it. So you guys see. All right, everybody, welcome back to the wrap up. And we had a lot of fun with this deck. As I mentioned previously, there were a lot of really short games, a lot of concessions. But if you really do think about it, those are still wins because of the fact that our opponent could not keep anything in play. We were going to get to mill ourselves out eventually. There even was, I think, 1 or 2 games where we were almost out of cards and we were about to just set up the win and our opponents conceded. So yeah, but I think it's cool actually being able to mill ourselves out. It's definitely a different win condition that you don't get to play with a lot of the times. And at the same time, I'm actually looking for different ways to build this deck. There's a lot more mill that's available, right? A lot more mono blue. There's even some mono black mill in the form of like some creatures that do some milling whenever it comes into play. There's some artifacts that let you mill, but they just don't let you mill in the same way that Demonic Bargain or Ashiok or Jace let us mill, or Tainted Pact. I mean, these are really heavy mill spells. A lot, and it's really, I would say, more recently, a lot of the mill cards that are happening on Arena are actually being worded to say certain things like, target opponent mills, X amount of cards. But there are still a ton of other, cards that say, target player mills 4, target player mills 5. But there are still a lot of other cards that just say opponent mill X cards. So really would love to see different ways to mill our opponent. Maybe exiling cards off the top of our deck to pay for a cost. I would really like to see that. So if there are any cards that I missed, and that's just going to be based on how I had to search on Arena, whether it be for mill or for exile, or search or anything like that. There were just so many different words that I tried to search to find cards like this. Please let me know. I didn't think peer through depths was a card for this deck. However, it could be an alternate win condition. This could easily become a self mill / peer through depths deck where we actually have a secondary win condition where maybe we play Underworld Dreams and peer through depths to kill our opponent out if we know that we're not able to actually mill ourselves. So it's definitely worth thinking about. But I do think at that point, if you do that, you do lose a lot of the removal or the cards that you want to be playing. So, but still, I still think this is a really cool deck. I'm not really sure right now what else we can use Demonic Bargain for, because at least in Standard or Historic, exiling 13 cards off the top of your deck, again, that's essentially a quarter of your deck, and really, really, it's not great, right? So you really have to be able to synergize this with something. Luckily, we have Jace, in order to mill ourselves. But maybe you could play this in Brawl or / Commander, but then again, you might be hitting a lot. You're going to be hitting all 1-ofs, and you might be hitting that 1-of that you're actually trying to tutor for. So, maybe there's a card that'll let you stack your deck, but probably not the top 13 cards. So, Demonic Bargain overall, I don't think this is a great card. And I did actually happen to open 4 of these out of my packs. I did not craft any of these. But I wanted to at least highlight it. This is actually a card that I immediately thought of Jace whenever I first saw it printed. I just don't know if it has enough cards to support it right now. Because again, we are really trying to force it with just board control, killing creatures, controlling the hand. And if you really notice, we're not playing any counter spells at all. So we are really susceptible to any kind of counter magic. So we'd really only have Thoughtseize at that point to deal with any kind of Jeskai or Azorius control decks. do with that as you will. But again, we got to beat goblins at the end, and that felt really good. Really, really good. It always feels good to beat goblins. All right, well, I really appreciate everybody watching the video today. Again, not the most exciting deck, not the most exciting games, but again, another, I would say another original build, and I'm happy with how it turned out. So again, if you have a different build of this for some reason, or if you have any cards that you think I should have included, please let me know, because I would like to evolve this deck in the future. We'll come back and visit this one definitely. But with that being said, everybody, please like, comment, subscribe, check out all those cool links down below. Join the Discord. Anything you do to help battle YouTube is greatly appreciated. So please, please, please stay safe, stay awesome. We will see you next time.